I remember that Jim said to me very early on, John Connor is an extremely important role, and I have got to have a young actor who is a professional who will hit his marks. I cannot be working with a new kid. I can't do it. And one of the problems is that this is supposed to be a streetwise kid, and a kid who was a bit tough, and we saw all of these professional kids who couldn't have any toughness, and when they tried to act angry or tough, it just looked ridiculous. It didn't look real, it didn't look believable.
What I was looking for is a combination of a kind of a strength of character that wasn't necessarily a physical strength. I didn't want him to be just some little jock kid that looked like he could handle anything. He had to have a quality that needed protecting.
This was in the summertime, and one thing that I ended up doing was going to camps, motocross races, and then we decided we would start looking, in addition to theaters, at some kinds of organizations like Boys and Girls Clubs. And it was at that point that we contacted the Boys Club in Pasadena. And then I started walking around, and there was a kid leaning up against the wall by the pool.
This woman started staring at me, and I thought she was so weird, because she just stared at me and smiled at me, and I'm just like, yeah.
And I walked over to him, and he was snarling at me. And I said, "You want to audition for a movie?"
A couple days later, we get a call. "Remember that woman you talked to in the Pasadena Boys Club?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's, "Well, that's the casting director for Terminator 2. They want you to go up for the part of John Connor." And I'm just like, "Yeah!" I went in for my first interview. Then I get a call later, and Mally Finn says, "I want you to come out and try out with Linda Hamilton." So I went and tried out for it again, and got really bashful and kind of shy, and I didn't do so well, and I almost got written off the list.
It was exactly what Jim was afraid of, that he couldn't repeat things right away. It was terribly difficult. He was very nervous.
Mally kept fighting for me, and she said, "Just give him one more chance," and I got an acting coach.
We found this wonderful man, Mike Muscat, who came in and worked with Eddie for a while, and we brought him back. He came in and did the scenes again.
I went in for my final interview, and I was really nervous. I looked around, and Jim's just like, you know, I could just see the look on people's faces, and then I just kind of just brightened up and did the part, and Jim lifted his head from his hands, and I left. And then right when I was getting in the car, Jim came out, and he said, "You have the part."